Hi, this is Tom Savanter with Premier Trust Advisors. Thanks for joining me on this webinar. I'm really excited that you joined me in this session. I think it's going to be really valuable for you and I'm excited to get started. So let's talk about how do we gain financial control. So today I'm going to cover the 5 steps to a rock-solid financial foundation and true prosperity. So before we get started, I want to share who is this for. So this is really for anyone who's tired of the conventional wisdom on growing wealth and is open-minded to explore new ways to take control of your personal finances. In the next 45 minutes, I'm going to cover how to build a solid financial foundation, even if you don't have a lot of experience managing your finances. How to save money efficiently, so you know it will be there when you need it and won't require you to compromise your lifestyle. How to grow your wealth massively without having to rely on what the experts say. How to reduce your taxes so you'll have more money to spend, save, and invest. How to establish the flexibility in your personal finances so you can handle any life changes that come your way. And how to manage your personal economy so your money works harder for you and less for financial institutions, banks, and the government. So my promise to you is a step-by-step strategy to a rock-solid financial foundation and true prosperity. So I'm just going to cover a couple of house rules. This is not a get-rich scheme. This is a long-term set of strategies and steps to get you to the financial prosperity you seek. This is not for people who are closed-minded and unwilling to learn. There's a lot of new concepts and thoughts that I'm going to be sharing throughout this presentation. And I want you to just keep your minds open to other possibilities. And lastly, this is not for those who just want it done for them. It's giving you the power and knowledge to control your own money. It's your money and no one will care more than you do about it. So before going any further, I want to do a little check-in with you. Does this sound like you? Do you feel like you just don't have money to do anything extra in your life? Do you see others getting ahead financially and wonder, how are they doing that? Do you lie in bed wondering if you'll ever have enough money to fund the most important things in your life? Are you worried about the economy and when the next crash will occur? Do you ever feel helpless, not knowing what better options exist to save and invest your hard-earned money? Do you feel like you're letting your family down by not being able to provide for them in the way you want? Do you feel at the mercy of taxes, fees, and other rules tied to where you're saving and investing? Do you feel like you don't have control over your money? Well, if any of those things resonate with you, that's a good thing because they're not the real problem. They're symptoms. The real problem is you haven't made what we consider the shifts. Once you make them, you'll have complete control over your personal economy and will be confident in your financial choices. You'll be able to sleep soundly at night knowing your financial house has a strong foundation. You'll be empowered to make the right financial decisions for you and your family since you understand how money really works. You'll be able to spend your money on the things that matter the most to you and not have to stress about whether you can pay all your bills. And you'll have the sheer satisfaction you are doing all you can for you and your family. So at this time, I want to share you a little bit who I am. I mentioned this is Tom Savantry, Premier Trust Advisors, and I got my MBA in finance back at the Pennsylvania State University a while back, and have over 15 years working at a Fortune 100 company in areas of finance operations. I'm an active real estate investor, owning homes and properties, and also in the private lending space. And I specialize in helping clients gain control of their personal economies so their money works harder for them. So before I go into diving into the 5 shifts, I want to share how I uncovered them. A lot of this started back when I was younger. My father was a physician, mother was a nurse, and they ran a great family practice for a long time, serving patients in a low-income environment. And they did great work. My father was brilliant, extremely bright. His craft in medicine was just unbelievable to watch. However, the one area that he lacked intelligence and education was in finances. He didn't understand how best to manage, preserve, and grow his wealth. It wasn't his fault. He just didn't know. He was never educated on it. So he took tremendous amounts of risks, invested in things he had no understanding of. Didn't focus on saving. And so some of the fundamentals you hear and understand, he didn't apply them. He didn't know them. And unfortunately, through the course of his life, he lost most of it. And towards the end of his life, he didn't have a lot to live off of. And that struck me. And as I grew older, I knew I had to learn from those mistakes. And so through my own exploration over time, I realized that there was a better way, that I need to take control of my own personal finances. And I learned through connecting with mentors and other people who had seen how do wealthy people make money. And through that, I learned some of the big shifts that you need to make to ensure that you have the control over your own money, the money you're working your tails off to earn. So you stay in control. Now, discovering the 5 shifts, they're really there to help you build that solid financial foundation and obtain true prosperity, which means you get to control what your money is being used for. And I'm going to walk you through all 5 of them in this session. The first one is to have a prosperous mindset. If we wish to create wealth, a lot of it starts on how we think about things. What do we believe about money? Do we believe people who are rich are greedy? They're selfish. Is it money doesn't grow on trees, or does it? We need to examine those thoughts and beliefs because they're going to drive the way we feel about money, feel about opportunities, guide our behaviors and ultimately our results. Are we thinking abundantly that there's opportunities all around us that we can explore? We have talents and gifts that we can leverage. Or are we living from a life of scarcity where there's not enough for everyone and we have to take from others for our gain? If we believe there's never enough, we can find ourselves spending everything because we never know if we're going to get any more. If we believe there's more than enough for everyone, that we can always create value, we'll find ways to save, give to others, and invest for our futures. Our prosperous mindset recognizes we have limitless value. The value isn't in money or dollars, it's in us as individuals and what we bring to the world. While scarcity thinking thinks that everything is contingent on paychecks and retirement accounts and homes, That's what we get from all of our hard work and value we bring to the world. Prosperous thinking keeps us moving towards our goals instead of settling for things that we don't desire. Like our jobs, like being in a job that you dislike because you're worried to lose the benefits. That scarcity mind puts us in a bad position and for some people, unhappy one. Prosperity is characterized by gratitude instead of complaining and blaming. It's up to us and only us to really guide our own lives and take responsibility for it, but appreciate what we do have and then shoot for the things we want. So the second step is to reduce risk to grow wealth faster. Now, we've been conditioned to believe that, we take these risk assessments and do you like risk or not? And if you want something safe and predictable, you're not going to get much return out of it. And high risk equals high reward. That's what we've all been taught. We're conditioned to believe that we need to take those high risks to get the high returns. But is that really true? And that's what typical financial planning offers us. They offer solutions based on our risk profile. And the only place they're suggesting we put our money is in the Wall Street casino. So when it comes to your future and your hard-earned money, do you really want to rely on speculation and hopes that the prices will rise without much control on your end? Instead, we prefer savings and investments with predictable gains, secured by real assets, not paper, so you can stay in control of your money. We suggest you don't rely on speculation and guesswork, but on proven vehicles that make sense, that you understand the investments, which ultimately reduces your risk. Now, Albert Einstein referred to compound interest as the eighth wonder of the world and claimed, "He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it." Now, compound interest is one of the greatest tools for building wealth, earning interest on your interest. Unfortunately, for a lot of the places we are saving and investing, your money stops compounding through the fluctuations of gains and losses, fees that are being taken from us, taxes, and then having to utilize and drain accounts when we run into emergencies or unique situations. So recovering the money that may be leaking from our personal economies can actually build our wealth way faster than just looking for and chasing massive returns that may put us at extra risk. So an example of a client of mine, Michael, who had the vast majority of investment money in the stock market. And he had concerns over the potential downturn and the risk that was being posed on him. So we worked on investing his money through a loan secured by an undervalued residential real estate property. Now, the loan itself, the investment, represented less than 60% of the value of the home. So investment was secured by this asset. The client is receiving 8% return on his investment through monthly cash flows that just get deposited into his bank. And the risk is mitigated because the client has a first lien position on that property as collateral. So if anything were to happen and payments were to stop, there's an asset that backs it up that mitigates the risk of the investment. So the third step is to use the secret weapon. And that's prosperity economics, the alternative to your typical financial planning. And it puts you back in control of your money using tried and true strategies that do not rely on luck, speculation, or the bull market. It uses principles and strategies the wealthy have used for generations to protect and grow their wealth massively. Prosperity economics teaches the truth about how money works so you can apply it to your personal economy. Now, the old way, they always tell us all you need to do is invest in the stock market and deal with the ups and downs and fluctuations and hope the downturns don't happen when you need the money. You max out your 401ks or other qualified plans and lock up your money until you're 59 and a half and then be subject to a tax rate that no one knows at this stage what it will be. You prepay your mortgages down as fast as you can, which actually reduces your flexibility because more of your money is now sitting in the equity of your home and is inflexible. And you're saving your money in banks or where you're earning virtually nothing while inflation is eating away at your purchasing power. You work at jobs until retirement age and then live the rest of your life, instead of trying to find your true purpose in life, enjoying and providing value for as long as you want to. And you're deferring income taxes now until retirement, when tax rates can change and you're not sure what the economy is going to look like at that stage. And you're putting income and your future in someone else's control, whether it be a financial institution or at the whims of the government that can always change rules. This is cross your fingers financial planning. And no wonder most people are nervous about what their futures hold, because there's so many things that are out of their control. So the new way, prosperity economics, recognizes that planning is of limited use, because when does life ever go exactly as planned? Change is inevitable. So we use principles of prosperity to guide our financial decisions so we can gain control. And it starts with thinking from an abundant mindset of possibilities. What else is out there? What opportunities can I leverage? And keeping an open mind. C is seeing the macroeconomic view of your personal finances. It isn't just one vehicle doing one thing. How they all impact each other, and taking a larger look at your entire financial situation and making sure that they're working well together. Measure, most people would associate with measuring returns. This is about measuring opportunity costs. And opportunity cost is an economic term that really points to what are the costs of the choices you're making with your savings, investments, your money. What's the best alternative? What's another alternative that you're giving up by choosing your course of action? Measuring that is important so you know how to increase the efficiency of your money. Flow. Flow is related to cash flow. Most advisors in financial advice focuses on building that massive net worth. However, cash flow is what we use to eat, enjoy our lives. So understanding and knowing how to generate that through the course of your life is going to serve you well into the future and keeps your money moving, the velocity of money. Control. We talk a lot about control. And putting your money in places where you lack control creates more anxiety and stress within your own lives. Having the control within your hands allows you to react to anything that comes your way. And move is about having your money move through assets, not accumulating and getting stuck. Putting them in vehicles and ways that you have access to them if you need them, and you can leverage them for other opportunities. And lastly, multiply. Have your dollars doing multiple jobs. That's how we gain efficiency. Having them only do one thing keeps them stuck, and they're just not being used as well as they could. So we have alternatives for cash, generating income and growth. Now, cash is, we can store it at places that can earn 3 to 4 times what you can get at a bank while being tax-free and accessible. We have investments that are backed by real assets that are delivering monthly income and mitigate your risk because of the asset's value. And investments that can grow over time and are not even related to the stock market at all in delivering predictable returns. These strategies do not rely on speculation and in many cases are immune to market cycles and crashes. Rather than relying on the unpredictability of the future, the focus is optimizing your dollars, making them more efficient, and putting what you have to best use possible. So for me, in my family, we've used this to help build that solid foundation for our family in our future. We've increased our net worth to well over $1 million through saving and strategic borrowing. We're generating a sizable monthly cash flow through the purchase of assets that are leveraging other people's money. And we've established this strong financial foundation where we have the flexibility, access, and control of our money while saving it in tax-free accounts and using risk-mitigating insurances. You can do this too. It takes time and education, but it's something you all can learn. So a quick recap. So now we know we need to be thinking from a prosperous mindset. We're reducing our risk to grow wealth faster and using the secret weapon, prosperity economics. Now let's look at how to be your own banker. So let's start by understanding how banks make money. Now you make a deposit into a bank, which most people are using banks to store their cash. So basically you're loaning your money to the bank. The bank's going to pay you an interest of, say, 1%. And that's probably on the higher end side today. So the bank's going to loan money out to others who are in need of it and charge, in this situation, 3%. So the bank in this situation earns a 2% spread. 3% they get on the loan they make, and then 1% on the money that we give them and they're paying to us as interest. It doesn't seem like a lot. However, it really equates to a 200% return because they're paying $1 to earn $3. And because of the fractional lending environment, they can do this 4 times, 5 times with the same dollar deposit. And that's how they're making money. They're just marking up our money to earn themselves money. So some believe that cash doesn't really have much value. Why would I get interest charges? Well, however, we finance everything we buy. Whether we pay cash, we either pay interest through debt, or we pass it up because when we pay cash, we now can no longer invest that money to earn interest. So we need to think about that as we're thinking about our own personal economy. To make the most of our money, we have to make decisions around that. We need to understand the costs associated with selecting one choice over another. And this taps into that concept of opportunity costs. Thinking through, is this the best use of my money? Now, being your own banker puts you in control of how to finance things in your life. And it helps recoup some of the interest costs that you may pay to banks unnecessarily. So in this case study, there's a potential real estate investment which becomes available. And you may have cash stored within a bank or even a life insurance contract. Now you can borrow against that life insurance contract by using the cash value in as collateral. It's an asset. Now you use the funds that you've borrowed to apply to a down payment and then secure a mortgage for the remaining balance. you've essentially secured an infinite return on this investment property as no money is required out of pocket. You didn't have to use any of your cash. However, your cash value in your life insurance contract continues to grow tax-free, allowing for continued compounding returns. So it's just one example of how to leverage the concepts of how banks use and operate their money for their gain. How do we apply it to ours? So the last step is to invest in a financial advisor. I think everyone should have advisors. We're all self-reliant on our lives, but there are folks who have expertise that we should leverage. They can bring new ideas and perspectives you haven't heard before and can shine a light on potential blind spots in how we're approaching things in our strategy. It will help reinforce and maintain a growth mindset versus a fixed. We all can learn new things and apply them and grow and enhance what we're doing. And having that growth mindset gives you more opportunities and will help you build your financial IQ as you continue to evolve. Now, investing in right strategies and products, it's certainly crucial and a big part of building your wealth. However, investing in your own financial education is equally important. And by leveraging the right financial advisor, it is a great investment to help you gain the confidence you need to control your own personal finances and help you gain that prosperity so you can control how money works for you. So today I promised to share with you how to build a solid financial foundation even if you don't have a lot of experience managing your finances. How to save money efficiently so you know it will be there when you need it and won't require you to compromise your lifestyle. How to grow your wealth massively without having to rely on what the experts say. How to reduce your taxes so you'll have more money to spend, save, and invest. How to establish the flexibility in your personal finances so you can handle any life changes that come your way. And how to manage your personal economy so your money works harder for you and less for financial institutions, banks, and the government. So what you need to win, you need a prosperous mindset. Thinking from abundancy and seeing opportunities will give you a larger chance to win. Reduce risk to grow your wealth faster. There's no need to take all the extra risk to get the return. There's ways to mitigate risk and still get great returns. Use the secret weapon, prosperity economics, that leverages principles that are tested over time and being used by the wealthy to really grow and manage their wealth. Be your own banker so you can control the financing aspects of your life and make the most out of your money. And lastly, invest in a financial advisor to help you continue to grow and build your financial IQ. These shifts alone will give you a rock-solid financial foundation and help you reach true prosperity. So now you have a choice. You can take the information today and simply do nothing. You can continue to follow the typical financial advice. You can continue to worry whether you'll have enough money in the future for all the important things in your life. You can continue to feel uncertain. You can manage any changes that come your way. You can maintain unnecessary risk to your finances based on what the experts tell you. Or you can choose to build a solid financial foundation, which puts you back in control of your money instead of having others control it. You can have your money work harder for you instead of for banks, financial institutions, or the government. And you can gain true prosperity and happiness by doing the things in life that you desire the most. So how can I help? My team and I have set aside some time in the next 48 hours to speak to you personally about how you can apply these ideas to your own personal finances starting today. Whatever your biggest challenges are, we've seen it. We know how to overcome it. We have experts across the country that can help. On the session, we will work with you to craft a step-by-step game plan to hit your personal finance goals so you can obtain the control and prosperity you desire. The cost? Absolutely free. So who is this for? We want people who are fully dedicated and committed to fixing your financial situation. You can follow through on your commitments and stay in partnership with us. You must be open-minded to exploring new ideas. We want to continue, just like we want to continue to grow and learn more. We want you also to be along for the ride and partner with us and continue your financial journey and education. And we want you to continue to be willing to learn and grow with us. If that's you, book a session with us now. So why are we doing this? We do this because we love to see individuals become empowered to control their own personal economy and finances so they can make the most out of their money for themselves, for the people around them. Plus, we know that you may need help to transform your financial situation. If so, we can discuss it and see if that's a good fit for both of us. If not, that's fine too. So I urge you, if that's you, please schedule a meeting through the meetme.so/Tom Savantry. When you click on that, you're going to get an opportunity to find a time that works best for you and fill out a quick questionnaire on some key aspects of your current financial situation. I guarantee you're going to get value out of that conversation regardless if we work together or not going forward. So I hope this session has been helpful to shine a light on potential ideas to help you gain the control and prosperity you want within your finances. And I look so forward to chatting with you and learning how we might be able to work together. So thank you. This is Tom Savantry, Premier Trust Advisors. I know prosperity is within your control. Thanks.